The Porsche Macan. Probably the most perfect car ever built, except for in quite a few ways. A few of which I'm going to highlight in today's video. 5 things I hate about the Porsche Macan. This is a 2022 Macan S, which belongs to us, in case you haven't been following the channel, in which case, what are you doing? Subscribe. And yeah, let's go through the 5 things which I hate most. So starting with the 5th thing, obviously we're going to go up in ascending order, it's practicality. This isn't the biggest of SUVs, you know, X3s, GLCs, Q5s. They're a little bit bigger, and that really does show. Back legroom's a little bit larger, rear boot space is a little bit larger, and this car does feel a little bit smaller compared to the rest of them. It's not to say it's cramped, it's not to say it's small, it's nothing like an Audi Q3 or anything like that, but it is definitely a little bit smaller than, you know, other competitors on the market. 4th thing is the age. Now, it seems like a bit of a petty thing to say, oh, I don't like how old the car is, but bear with me here. You see, despite this being a 2022 model, which is relatively new, and it being of the latest generation, the Gen 3, which is essentially just a facelift of a Macan, which is arguably a facelifted 2009 Audi Q5. Anyway, it's still old. That's what I mean. I said it's basically a facelifted 2009 Audi Q5, and it is. The underpinnings of this car, 30% of it, is shared with the first generation Audi Q5, which, you know, you can't really tell, but just knowing that kind of ruins it. Just a little bit, but yeah. The 3rd thing, and I guess you would have all expected this, is the price. It's not cheap. No Porsche is, and nowadays not really many cars can be considered cheap. But the Macan is definitely not one of the better value cars. Well, actually I say that. It might be good value depending on what your priorities are, but it definitely has a higher starting price and a higher final price than a lot of its rivals. Now, the benefit is, because it's a Porsche, because the demand is high, and because it's relatively exclusive in this market, it does hold its value extremely well. It's one of the best cars at holding its value on sale right now. But yeah, it's expensive. The 2nd thing is the body style. What do I mean by this? Is it the way it looks? No, I think it looks quite nice, to be honest with you. I think it still hasn't really aged at all. Is it the size? No, not really. I mean, I spoke about practicality earlier on, but it is mainly, well, it's an SUV. If Porsche had decided to make a 4-door saloon that was 3 Series size, let's say based on the Audi A5 Sportback, which is probably what they would have done if they were to make a saloon of that kind of type, which is smaller than the Panamera, petrol-powered, whatnot, that would definitely have been the car we would have gone for. But they don't. They made it as an SUV only. Now, in today's current market, it's the best marketing thing you can do. Everyone wants an SUV, and these sell like hotcakes, so it only makes sense to make an SUV. But, you know, around the corners, dynamically and practicality-wise, it's an SUV. An estate or saloon probably would have been better, for us at least. Doesn't matter though, still fantastic. And the 1st thing, the absolute worst thing about the Macan, which is expected and unexpected at the same time, is the fuel consumption. It is a gas guzzler. There is no getting around the fact that it just drinks and drinks and drinks petrol like there's no tomorrow. Let me give you an idea. When the engine runs in, which this car needs to do for around the first 1,500 miles, it averages on a normal school run or shopping run 12 miles to the gallon. In our experience, 12 miles to the gallon. Now, I thought that was awful, like genuinely terrible. But we had one of the better experiences. You see, I've heard of someone who had a Gen 3 Macan S just like this, and during the run-in period got 8 miles to the gallon whilst going to the shops. 8. 8 is not good. 8 is awful. Absolutely awful. It makes the Ford Mustang look like a Toyota Prius, really. So, yeah, if you're not prepared to take that hit, then you might want to wait for the electric Macan. There is no hybrid coming, unfortunately, because that would have been perfect, but yeah, it's a problem. That's it. Yeah, 5 things I hate. Doesn't mean I hate the overall car. I absolutely love it. Completely love it. It's a fantastic car, but, you know, there are issues, as with any car. So, yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone